Hello everyone, this is Christopher and today we are going to continue the first dungeon of Zelda Oni-Link Begins, and more precisely we are going to make the boss. Okay. So I already have all necessary sprites normally. This boss, actually it's a boss from Secret of Mana. Maybe I can start by showing you, and also showing actually to myself, the thanks Jesse Solarus for the subscription. Yeah, I'm going to show you the video of my let's play, and thanks Marley Oliveira for the subscription. It must be the first episode, I guess. Mute. Lots of recent subscriptions. Thanks, Bird Zario. Okay, this is the video. Oh yeah, and I also worked on the sprite of Oni-Link, which is a very annoying task, so I didn't do it during the stream. Actually, I had to finish all animations of Link, but with the new tunic, and it's not just a change of sprite, it's also, I mean, it's not just a change of colors, there is also differences. He has bigger eyes, red eyes. But it's finished. I mean, only the shield is still to be done. Anyway, here is the boss. Should just let the video go and see what happens. So it's quite easy. It doesn't move at all, and apparently the coordinates are not really correct here. Should be more like this, or even here. Yeah. So there are switches that appear sometimes. This cannot be traversed, and when you press a switch there is a skull that appears, and you have to throw the skull at the boss. And sometimes he shoots some smaller green enemies. I think they are called Zol. So apparently whenever you take a skull, the switch gets inactivated. Okay, and then you get a piece of heart. Door opens, only the north one, and you get the growl. Okay, so we'll try to do this, to reproduce this in this video, in this stream tonight. Okay, so let's check the sprite. Tropicolor. Where is the smaller Tropicolor? So walking, shooting, heart is all I need. But where is the smaller guy? Maybe it has a special name, Kill. No. Oh, yes, I think it's this one. Yeah, Brambler. Didn't remember that this guy was named Brambler. So there is not much to do about this enemy, since it's just used as a barrier. Okay. So we'll start with the smaller guy because it's very easy. Must have a script. Okay, he has a lot of life. We never actually kill him, so can set any value here. Sprite. I want to check the damage value. Okay. Enemy. If I have to find the number of this enemy. I don't know if it's in the store actually, because for me it's more a boss than a regular enemy. So if it's not there, I have to find it in my files. Image enemy. This is Zol, by the way. 53. We also have to check them. Not sure if they are in the enemy store. Oh yes, they are. Okay. Zol, green. 1 point of life and 1 point of damage. I think this must be correct. But it doesn't harm to check. Where is this defined? 53. Yes. V max égale 1, force égale 1. Okay. And he doesn't have any special behavior, he just walks towards the hero, like most enemies in this game. But yeah, let's find Brambler now. Oh, here it is, 59. Okay, that's why I set the life to this value, 999, and the damage is 1. Okay, good. So my script is correct here, and there is no movement, so and very importantly, he's invincible. Okay, let's create Brambler here. Tropical plant. Do I want to save this guy? Not really. Treasure, none. So boss Brambler 1, set enabled false. Boss door open. So I already have some code here from the previous game. If the boss is not dead and the fight has not started, then when we enter the room, freeze the hero, close the door, stop the music. 1 second later, enable the boss, unfreeze the hero and play the boss music. So I guess all of this should be correct. Close the door. And I also want to enable these two guys. Oops. So all of this should probably be in some other file somehow, because all dungeons will have this kind of code, but this is specific. But we will improve that another time. Alright. Hi Phoenix, hi Zelda Retro. So I should be able to run to the boss very quickly. Don't think I have the boss key. Oh yes, I do. Okay. Nothing happens. Start boss sensor on activating. He must be called boss or it won't work. Yes, it is indeed called boss, but it is saved. Maybe that's a problem. Don't remember killing him though. Can do just game. Oops. Get value. Dungeon 1 boss. Nil. So he's not supposed to be dead. Let's check that this function is called. Okay, apparently not. Unactivated. Name is correct. Is the sensor misplaced or in the wrong layer? Oh yes, layer 0. Oh, because I must have copy pasted from Zelda Return of the Alien, and everything was on layer number 1 actually. So the fight should start now. I didn't expect to hear this music. There's something wrong in my boss life display encounter here. Okay, let's hear the music. I will only mute my old video so you will hear me again. But in the video...
Dur hein, ce premier boss, franchement. Ça commence doucement.
Looks like
il fait
it's
rien.
Music. It's the correct music.
Il fait rien.
Okay. But it's the music from Ganondorf, right? So I'm surprised.
Ah si.
Okay. I just muted myself. And now let's see what happens here. Boss life 24. Oh, DST. Why? This has changed. Okay, because there is a new system for the HUD. Actually, every element from the HUD is defined in this list, including coordinates. So it's very easy to add, remove, or move some elements without any programming, or really just say in the name of the script and the coordinates in this data file. So if you make your own game, you can adapt easily and add your own stuff if you want. All our recent games are made like this now. And actually the HUD main script is probably exactly the same in several games, in all recent games. It's just a script that basically reads this Okay. So, what next? I should, oh, I have to make sure that bramblers are never traversed. It's not enough to just put enemies, actually. The hero can traverse them. That's not what we want. Even though it might be okay, it was not really the intention in the old game. So guess I can try to do enemy set traversable force. And by the way, let's create a destination just for debugging purposes. There's also a debug destination, that's funny. Must be somewhere. Oh, it's this one. It can stay here, no problem. It doesn't harm. So I put a destination inside that wall, so that when you start, you can easily debug by pressing the shortcut to traverse walls when debug keys are enabled. Where did we see the title again? It's not normal. Okay, so I cannot traverse them anymore, but they do not hurt me anymore either, because there is no collision. That's a small problem. But why did we see the dungeon name again? We didn't even change the map. So there must be something wrong on this, in this function. First, it's strange that on map change is called, but the map hasn't really changed. I mean, there was a transportation, but we stayed on the same map, so I didn't expect this function to be called. And what's even more strange is that apparently the world has changed. New world is nil. Or new world. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to print stuff. Previous world, new world, and see what happens. Previous one. When we start, we do see Temple de Firon. Wait, actually it's only the first time that we saw that. Didn't see it twice. Yeah, it's displayed here, but the event is not called a second time. So that's a relief actually. So there's no bug in the engine that would call this when it shouldn't. So the bug must be in my script that shows the dialogue. And where is it again? Dungeons. Notify world changed. On opening transition. Yeah, it doesn't work. my code from last time. I mean, we will have the same problem when taking regular stairs. Oh no, because the map is reloaded, that was a trick. Okay, we only have the problem for teletransporters that go from one map to the same map. Yeah, I thought about that last time, but I forgot about the transportation inside the same map. Notifying world change is not called, but this one is called, the one we registered. Decided to register an event, knowing that the map would be unloaded anyway, destroyed anyway when you go to another map. So I thought it was fine, but if you go to the same map, this is called again. I guess I could just remember if I showed the dialogue at least once. Maybe I could do something better instead of read. Actually, the only reason why I didn't do that is because I have to wait for the opening transition of the map to finish. Otherwise, dialogue starts during the fade in. You see? But if I just use a timer with a very small delay, this should not be enough. Yeah, I have to say to the timer to get suspended when the game is suspended. Set suspended with map, I think true. Yeah, that's much cleaner. The map is suspended during the fade-in transition. So I'm just saying to do this after the map has finished being suspended. Yeah, so it works. Let's continue. Oh yeah, I had this wall issue, so this is not the most appropriate solution. I just put a wall instead. Post Brambler wall. And it gets enabled or disabled like both enemies. False here, I mean no, the contrary. True here and false here. Yeah, and initially it is disabled. Yeah, I have to do it. No, actually. False here and true here, and when the boss die, I didn't make the code yet for when the boss dies. But okay. Might be something wrong here. The hero is supposed to be frozen, but I was able to move. Okay, so there is a wall now. Hero freeze. Is it because I'm transported into the sensor? So I'm being unfrozen by the engine after straight transportation. Yeah, okay. So the idea is to take skulls and to do that. Very, very easy. I cheated. Okay. Thanks, Phoenix. This will help. So actually there are no... These cards are a bit special, I should just remove them. And here it's actually a switch. And the first time we enter the room, and I'm just checking the video again. Yeah. No skull, no skulls at all. Remove this, remove this. So we have a switch. Actually I will copy paste a switch to have the correct sprite and sound. Boss switch. And when you press the switch, let's close all of these. I guess it should be disabled when, I mean, after the fight. When you go back, what happens? It's still available, okay, but it will do nothing. So the first thing to do is if not fighting boss, then return. Yeah, there are great music in this game from several games. And by the way, I should say that Tropicalo can only, you don't want to be to yourself. Can only be killed by thrown items. Set, so it's invincible, which means ignore all attacks and then only react to thrown item. I guess it removes 1 life point. I have to check that. Did I really use exactly 8 skulls? Let's see. One. I think so. 2. Oh, there was a bug. The second hit counted for 2. 3. So 4 actually. 5. So there was the same bug in Return of the Alien, which actually helped me in the speed run to kill the first boss. Oh, okay, when you... I didn't notice this. So it's probably better if I do nothing then. So when it only has 1 life point remaining, the bramblers just disappear and you have to finish the boss with a sword. Okay, that's nice. So let's don't bother, he will be vulnerable to standard weapons. I just have to create skulls that can hurt enemies with damage 1 and not 2. That, or I give him 16 life points and not 8. Okay. So we create 3 placeholders. Maybe not sensor, maybe custom entities. Boss skull placeholder 1. No script, no sprite, no nothing. It's just to be able to create destructibles, I mean skulls, at the correct positions without hard coding coordinates in my script. Actually, I won't even hard code the fact that there's three placeholders. I will get all entities like this. Boss placeholders. But it's an iterator. Okay, let's keep it simple and still hard code the fact that there are 3 of them. I could use map get entities to ask the engine to find them automatically. Create a skull at a random place. So placeholder will be boss skull placeholders random this is too long. Okay, placeholder get position. Then we create a destructible. You don't really have to put it in a variable. Map create destructible, and here we need the documentation. Map create destructible. We have all of these. So name is optional, we don't care. Obviously coordinates the ones of the placeholder randomly selected. Then treasure, there will be no treasure. Sprite, obviously, must be entities, skull, I think. Vase skull, okay, it's called vase skull, but let's find its exact ID. Entities, vase skull, okay. What else do we need? Destruction sound, stone, oh, ALTTP stone, C. No, just stone. Okay. Weight 0. Default value is 0, so I don't have to specify it. Can be cut, can explode, can regenerate. Damage. This is important. Damage on enemies. Actually, it's the default value, but we want to make it very explicit because it's different from the skulls of the rest of the dungeon. Actually, if you make a speedrun of this game, it means that you can pick a vase here and go to the boss room. I think it will be automatically destroyed because of the freeze, the hero freeze stuff here. But if it's not, I have to change the boss life actually to 16. Yeah, okay, let's do it anyway. To make all skulls consistent. But now I'm wondering, is it really supposed to be 2 here for normal enemies? We have to check that. Anyway, let's finish this called damage on enemies, and that's all. So if I open the door, yeah, it's automatically thrown, so it will have no effect. It works. Oh, I can't lift. Problem. Weight, the default value is 0. Do we have a bug here? I should not have to. Say this. Now something is wrong. Game get ability lift. It is 0, but I'm able to lift these guys. Can be lifted. weight 0. And if I open the map file of this first floor of the dungeon, you can see that it's actually exactly almost the same syntax. There is no weight parameter, which is normal because the weight is 0. Yeah, something else must be wrong, like maybe there are multiple destructibles at the same place. Oh no, it's because of the custom entities. Yeah, this is a small bug in the engine. I had a similar problem in Zelda XD2. I spent several hours trying to understand. Yeah, because there is code to make sure that only one entity is the one facing the hero at a time. For example, if you put two skulls at the same coordinates or very close to each other, the engine will pick only ones, will choose only ones that will be lifted. Actually, the fact that there are custom entities here is the problem. We have both a custom entity and then a skull, and the engine decides, wrongly decides, but decides that only the custom entity would be able to interact with the hero by pressing the action key. So the facing entity, in other words, the facing entity is this one, when it should be, well, I guess it could be any of them. I think it should always be the lowest one when you have two overlapping entities. And the bug is that it's actually an arbitrary one. So I guess it will work I mean, it should work sometimes and some I mean sometimes it won't work. And how to fix this? I mean, I won't change the engine. I won't make a release just for that, but one way to solve this is to, for example, disable the 3 placeholders. Or put them on another layer, but I think I will just disable them. So after I will automatically detect them. For placeholder in map get entities. Do set enable false. avoid facing entity conflict with skulls. So this bug is already in the bug tracker. Custom entity on interaction. Is it this one? No. Must have created it during the development of XD2, so at the end of March. Blocks cannot be moved sometimes if overlapping. A custom entity is this one. If a block is exactly on a 16 by 16 custom entity that does nothing and not an obstacle, the hero sometimes cannot move the block, and it's exactly the same problem if you put destructible in the title here. The hero is facing both entities at the same time, and the engine fails to reliably choose one of them. So, for example, the one below the other. And then I discuss solutions. Okay. So it's a bit annoying to understand when you encounter this problem, and the second time I have it. Yeah. Let's just say same problem with other interactive entities like destructibles and probably chests. Can even reference the issue here. Confirmation: Phoenix doors activated by lighting torches do close when the world changes. Yeah, so we have the correct behavior then. Ah, I missed the the secret transporter. Okay, now we have nothing at all. Yeah, because I forgot to fill my list here. I should just save here, but is it a destination that always saves? Always. Okay. Nice. I could have spent the night on this bug if I had not seen it before. Okay. So whenever he gets hurt, we want to make the switch activable again. Simply, yeah. If boss is not nil, because if it's already killed, it will be nil and saved. Yeah, you should give a heart container. I don't have heart container, the heart container item yet, because it didn't exist in Return of the Alien. We'll do that later. That function boss on, I guess, heart. Have to remember the API. It would be logical that I call this on heart. Yeah. And there's a parameter that says how it was hurt. If it was from the sword, from a thrown item, from an explosion, etc. But we don't really care, we just want to check his life. And by the way, damage enemies equals 2, yeah. So if boss get life is greater than 2, then we deactivate the switch. Boss skull switch. Was it the name? No, just boss switch. Set activated force. Else, so one more hit. At this point he will have exactly 2 remaining life points. So I should say that the damage of the sword is actually 2 and not 1 like by default. Or I just more simply put 15 instead of 16. One more hit. At this point I have to kill the 2 bramblers here. Set life 0 to kill them with the proper animation. And disable the wall. Oops. Boss brambler wall set enable force. And then we should have everything except Zols. This guy cannot be killed. Oh, I have to make the boss look towards us instead of always to the right. Oops, missed. Ahahaha. So when you miss it, the switch doesn't. Okay, I'm stuck. restarted. Timer. Enemy. So every, I don't know, 100 milliseconds. Get the map, get the hero, get everything. I get hero. So sprite set direction, enemy get direction 4 to hero. I think this is the function, right? It must be in map entities. Yeah, Zelda retro, exactly, I totally forgot this case. When you miss the boss. Get direction 4-2, yeah. It does exist. So it's a 4 direction sprite, as always for enemies, but actually there are only 2 different graphics. Where is it again? No. Tropicalo. So right and left will both look to the right, and up. No, right and bottom will both look to the right. So that's okay. Oops, I have a problem here. Forgot to close my timer function, and I also have to repeat the timer. And it's working. Oh, but the change is here. Yeah, sure, because I'm to the right. So actually I should perhaps get the exact angle. Yeah. Enemy get angle to hero, which also exists. So if angle is greater than pi over 4 and lower, I guess, or equal than 3 pi over 4, then direction will be left, else it will be to the right, and sprite set direction 4. Oh, get angle 2 doesn't exist. Oh, sorry about that, there is no 2. maybe I should just have used get direction 8 too. But no, it will also it would also have been imprecise, but I guess it didn't work. Oops. Return true. Let's print the angle in degrees. Salut Zelda Force. 320 degrés, 0. Les angles sont bons là. 180. Ok. Y compris entre pi sur 4 et 3 pi sur 4, ça devrait être correct ça, non? Ensuite 2 et 0. 2 c'est ça, et 0 c'est ça. Ah, donc déjà c'est un... Non, c'est bon. Elle est pratique cette petite console quand même depuis 1.5. Parce qu'avant c'était la galère sur votre système d'exploitation pour pouvoir imprimer les trucs. Et donc cette fois-ci j'ai que des zéros. Quelqu'un voit l'erreur là? D'habitude je m'en sors bien avec les angles, hein, je vous promets. Hein. Ah oui, alors là je les imprime en radian en plus. Quoi? Ah, merde. Donc il regarde toujours à droite. Quand je suis là, effectivement, je suis pas dans l'intervalle. Quand je suis là, manifestement, je suis pas non plus dans l'intervalle. Pi sur 4, 3 pi sur 4. Ah, c'est pas 3 pi sur 4, c'est des pi sur... C'est pas des pi sur 4, c'est des pi sur 2. 3 pi sur 2, évidemment. Oui, oui, oui. Pi sur 2, c'est 90 degrés. Voilà, ça marche. C'est juste ça que je voulais faire. Ouais, merci, Flo. J'ai déjà commité ce que j'ai fait jusqu'à présent. Et je pense qu'il restera plus qu'à ajouter les ols et corriger le fait que on puisse enfin il faut régénérer le bouton aussi quand on rate le boss, évidemment. Dungeon 1 boss in progress. Ok, donc dans notre petit script, c'est pas le bon endroit pour faire ça. Le bon endroit, ça serait quand le destructible se fait détruire en fait. Donc on va le garder en mémoire. On va lui mettre un petit événement. On removed. Est-ce qu'il y a un événement mieux que on removed? Je crois pas, je sais plus. Ah si, peut-être que maintenant il y a on looked, on cut, on lifting, on exploding, on regenerated. Il n'y a pas on broken, comme quelque chose comme ça. J'ai même pas pensé. C'est pas un problème, on peut utiliser on removed. Donc ça c'est très général, c'est dès qu'il est supprimé, donc ça se produit même quand, par exemple quand on change de map. Mais c'est pas bien grave, il suffit de ne rien faire quand on n'est pas en train de combattre le boss. So if not fighting boss, then return. Donc peu importe la raison qui a fait que le vase est détruit, peu importe qu'il est blessé ou pas le boss, on va permettre au switch de revenir, mais je viens de marcher sur le sensor. Donc forcément j'ai appuyé dessus sans avoir commencé le combat. Oups. Faut quand même bien viser. Si on vise le cou, ça marche pas. Faut viser vraiment la tête ou le bas qui est plus près. Le plus facile c'est de viser en bas. Donc mon switch revient. En fait dès que je... Ah oui, dès que je le porte... C'est vrai que c'est plus un objet destructible après, c'est un objet porté, ça n'a plus le même type. Bon, c'est pas vraiment un problème. Mais c'est une petite différence par rapport à avant. Mais on peut accepter. Okay, I should continue in English because I started in English. And I know there are a lot of English viewers. Yeah, that's nice. The switch still works. The music is still on. Ooh. So, if boss is nil or not fighting boss. No, actually it's just because I did nothing special in when the boss is dead. That's why the music continues and everything. I haven't made the code yet, so it's normal. I wanted to improve this a bit. Frame blur, let's say that they can't be killed, but I want to react to the sword and to thrown item and not just ignore them. I want to stop the thrown items actually. Set attack consequence, thrown item. How is it again? Ignored. Well, it's not ignored precisely, it's... don't remember. protected. And I want the same for the sword actually. Yeah, we can hear the sound of failure. So okay, it's a small detail, but that's nice. And now the next step is to create the Zolds. So let's see again on my old video how it happens. They fall from above, I think. Yeah. So he takes the shooting animation that I already have, and then the Zold falls. And there's a shadow. Okay, let's do that. Tropical. I don't really know the delay. Is it random? Oops, mute. Is it when it gets hurt? I don't think so. I think it's just a delay. So I need to make a timer that because the problem is that enemy timers are automatically stopped when the enemy is hurt. So I can put a timer on the map, for example, but then I have to be very careful of not doing anything while the enemy is hurt, for example. So I'm not sure how to do that cleanly. I start with a regular enemy timer for now. and some small delay just during the tests. Create another enemy with some properties. Enemy, create enemies. And by the way, I guess I have to create them at a random. They fall from above, but at random horizontal coordinates. No. At the hero coordinates. Yep. So it will actually be let's make another placeholder instead of hard coding a value. Boss placeholder get position. Direction, don't care. Breed, Rambler, no, Zol. So LTTP Zol green. I'm not sure if this one is only used in this boss or if it's already used as a regular enemy at some other places. Because I have to make the script of the falling enemy. Maybe I will do the script from there and not from the enemy itself, just in case just to make it usable as a regular enemy in normal maps. Breed, what else? Specific variable, treasure name, we don't care. Okay. So now it's creating. I have to handle the shadow. I think it will be another entity. It's not enemy, create enemy. I mean, it also exists, but it's to create an enemy at the coordinates of another one. It's often the case of bosses, but not this one. So it's just map create enemy. Just checking if I used this correctly. Map create enemy. I think so. Node name, layer, okay. So the shadow will be a regular entity. Custom entity. What do we need here? Direction. Who cares? This should be optional, the direction. Layer. Oh, okay. I need a vertical hero coordinate as well. So layer, hero X, hero Y. The default size of 16 pixels is okay, and more importantly the sprite. So I should have a shadow sprite. Let's use the big one. Is it just shadow or entities? No. Yeah, entities shadow. Okay, and that's all. Shadow get sprite, set animation, big. Now what I do is that I will change completely the movement and the features of the enemy until it falls. So actually it would be easier to create a custom entity here. Yeah, let's do that with the sprite of the enemy. Keep the same order as below, and when it lands we will replace it. Actually we'll replace both by the real enemy. It will be a straight movement or target movement. Target. The target will be the shadow. Set target shadow. Set ignore obstacles true. Actually, let's even create this one layer above to make sure that it appears above the hero always. We have to, the maximum layer is 2, so I'm guaranteed that layer +1 does exist. Set ignore obstacles true. What else? Set speed. Well, I don't really know. Let's try 96. I don't know. And then start the movement on Zol. Hi, Birdzario. I saw your name in the recent subscribers. Thank you. Oh, error in timer callback. And also I will have to do return true. Buzzsaw placeholder does not exist. What is the name of this thing? Buzzsaw placeholder. Yeah, it's because I'm in the enemy script. I don't have this kind of easy access to map objects. It only works on map scripts. Yeah, but I want it to work without any other dependency on the map, so maybe this was a bad idea. Yeah, let's create it simply relative to the boss itself, like boss coordinates minus I don't know, something. No placeholder for this case. I mean, enemy X, enemy Y, enemy layer, why not? Enemy get position. Okay, so X is hero X and Y is enemy Y minus 160. Should shoot one every 3 seconds. But filled with integer expected got nil. Something is wrong in the documentation. It says default 16, but actually it's not optional. Maybe it used to be optional in previous versions, but it was a bug. And it's fixed. I have to put the size. Here and here. Ouais, beaucoup de français dans le chat quand même. J'espère que ça vous embête pas trop que je parle anglais. Okay, so it's falling really too slow. Boss switch is still a nil value. Skull unremoved. Yeah, I was saying earlier that this is called even when you close the map, so maybe the boss is already removed before the skull is removed when unloading the map. So that's why I was reluctant to using this event. Means that I have to test the existence of the boss switch. If boss switch is nil, then do nothing. The map is being unloaded. You can say it in the comments. Yeah, I'm speaking mostly English because I have both French viewers and English viewers, but I think almost all my French viewers can understand when I try to speak English, but the contrary is not true. However, I might make French only streams sometimes. What I'm trying is that when I choose a language for a stream, I I stick with it. Yeah, it's working. I mean, what I scripted so far is working. Tous les tutos par contre ils sont en français et en anglais. Tous les tutos sont en double, hein. Il y a une playlist en français et en anglais et je dis exactement la même chose. Okay, so yeah, we are making progress here. We have to say what happens when the movement ends. So when the Zol reaches the shadow, then we just remove both. And we create the enemy, and it will look like this. Don't call this Zol after all, since the custom entity is more fake Zol, let's say. Fake Zol. Yeah, why not? And the real Zol is here. Create enemy. We will remove them later because we want their coordinates, even though technically we are still able to get some coordinates after remove is called, but it's not exactly the cleanest thing to do. Have to take X, Y again, fake Zol, get position. X, Y. So now it's an enemy. I no longer need this, but I need, so here layer. Oops. I need the breed rather than the sprite. Breed is actually the enemy script or enemy model, as you prefer. I don't need to put this in a variable. But you can speak both English or French in the chat, there's absolutely no problem. Bad argument 1 to start. Movement start. Zol, oh, it no longer exists. It's fake Zol. And maybe there is a sound to be played when Zol is created. Let's... I was going to say let's see, but it will be more or less let's hear. Hang on. Unmute.
Ah si, il fait des trucs.
Okay. And again, we just heard my old voice from a couple of years ago. We just heard the drum sound. So I'm not using the same sound effects as the original game because I'm not sure why, but he used Link's Awakening sounds instead of Link to the Past sounds. So I will take this one. Jump. When exactly should we hear it?
Donc quand j'appuie sur le bouton, il y a un crâne qui apparaît. Tiens, j'ai touché 2 fois. C'est un petit bug.
Okay, I think we are hearing the sound. Immediately after the phaser is created. Audio play sound. Then I will have to set the shooting animation on the boss. Jump. Oops. And they are still too slow, but it works well. Okay, they're too slow, so where's the speed defined again? Here. This is actually not so complicated. I create a timer that repeats all of this. So repeatedly I create a custom entity, but actually it's mainly just to display this sprite, the sprite of the Zol enemy, which is here, the green Zol, this guy. Then I also create a shadow sprite. I play the jump sound, and I set a movement to the Zol entity. I said that the movement should make the Zol go to the shadow. I start the movement here, and this function is a callback parameter that gets called when the movement ends, which means when the Zol hits the target of the movement, so the shadow. Then I remove my both my custom entities, and I create the real enemy. I didn't create the enemy before because I didn't want the movement of the enemy to conflict with that movement I was trying to make here. So it's not that complicated. And then I say return true to repeat the timer. And what I haven't done yet is the shooting animation. Let's do that. Tropical. So just shooting. Do I have a sprite variable somewhere? Yes. It's created here. Set animation, shooting. Is there a callback parameter in sprite set animation? Is it supported now? I think it's a recent feature from 1.5, but I have a doubt. Set animation, yes. Yes. So everything that I wrote here should be done after the shooting animation. So I'm wrapping all of this in another callback function. So This means that I wait 3 seconds, then I start the shooting animation, and when the shooting animation is finished, I do all of this, create my both sprites, my movement, and when the movement ends, I create an enemy and remove the sprites. And I repeat all of this every 3 seconds for now, but this might change. Let's see how it looks. Okay. I forgot to put the regular animation back. And it's a bit too quick compared to the original game. Let's say, I don't know, twice slower, the shooting animation. So it's an animation that does not loop. That's why when it ends we no longer see anything. What we want instead is, so we create all this of course, but we also want to restore the normal working animation of the sprite. And what's nice is that enemy timers are automatically stopped when the enemy is hurt. So I don't have to take care of this at all. I mean, it could be possible otherwise that the timer ends exactly during the hurt animation, and this would conflict. It would change the animation while it's being hurt. It would really not be nice, and we don't have to even bother. Okay, that's nice. So yeah, they are stopped when he's hurt, but after he was hurt, on restarted, it's automatically called. So it will work. It will be started again. Yeah, thanks Phoenix about Dungeon 5. So this delay was just for testing purposes. I want to make it a bit longer, but maybe with some randomness. If I make it random, I won't be able to just say return true anymore, because this means repeat the timer with the same delay. Actually, it would be nice to be able to return a delay here. Amberzario, yes, we are reproducing. We are working on the remake of Zelda Oni-Link Begins, which is the second game from Vincent Julia. We already released a remake of his first game, Zelda Return of the Alien, but this game is much more interesting, and the third game is really even better. But now we are working on the second one. It's improved by using the Solarus engine. So that's why I have some videos of me playing the original game. These videos are on YouTube, by the way, in French. What was I working on? What was the problem again? Yes, the delay. So in the original game it's a very long delay. By the way, the boss is really too easy, even for a first dungeon. So of course 3 seconds is much too quick. So let's try 6 seconds. The only problem is that it will be reset after each time I hold the boss. I have to be sure that I need more than 6 seconds to make a second hit. Six seconds looks fine. It will be hard to avoid them. So you see, the timer was interrupted. I mean, not the timer. Yeah, the timer too, but he was hurt during the animation, the shooting animation. So this was actually never called. The hurt animation automatically occurred. The shooting animation was interrupted, so this wasn't called. And it's important that it's not called to avoid any potential conflicts. So yeah, it's not easy with 6 seconds. It's now much harder than in the original game. Maybe a bit too hard. I always need more than 6 seconds to get there. Does it continue to shoot souls? Let's say that it does. Why not? Okay. So no randomness. Let's just say 7 seconds instead of 6. Finding inspiration. Yes, it's hard. It's very hard. Actually, I feel much more comfortable with reproducing existing games than creating really original content. But I also try to do original games like Mercury's Chest. The good news is that I get a lot of help. We are a big team now. So the boss is almost finished, even finished maybe. Now I have to work on the ending sequence and giving a heart container. It's time to commit. Dungeon 1 boss. Okay, bye, birds are here. So, we need the heart container item from another game. No need to invent it again. Heart container. I'm taking the one of Zelda XD2 because it's the game that has the most recent code. Heart container. Just copy the file, add to the quest, heart container. Let's put this here. Actually, this code is quite old. It was probably never updated. I hope I have the heart container sound. add 4 life points. Is it 4? No, in this game it will be 2. And I need to check the sprite, the heart container sprite. Maybe I already have it, yes. Oh, there are a few wrong pixels here. No items are using it, but I still want to fix this problem. It must come from the boss key of some other game. But here there is actually the boss key is the big key sprite from A Link to the Past in this game. Okay, and I also need a dialogue. It's probably not there yet. Let's see my video, my old video again, just to see if there is a dialogue. When you get a heart container. Ok. Tu trouves un nouveau cœur, ta vie maximale augmente d'1 cœur. So it has to be called _treasure dot the name of the item, the ID of the item, or slightly dot the variant. Heart containers only have one variant, but some other items have more, like the sword or the glove. So tu as trouvé. Oops. Oh, I have an issue with French accents here. It's a Qt bug actually, it's not my fault. It's a Qt bug with the compose key of Ubuntu. Anyway, tu as trouvé un nouveau cœur. He loves exclamation marks. Ta vie maximale augmente d'1 cœur. Copy paste. It's 48 in this dialog box. Okay. So my treasure should, my heart container treasure should work. I just have to give it heart container. Variant 1 saved, of course. Dungeon 1 heart container. Let's keep the same convention as other games. Zelda Mystery of Solarus DX. Okay, it's a very old game. I forgot about that. What a mess it was. Only numbers to save stuff. So it's time to choose a new convention, and it will be this one. Dungeon 1 heart container. That's nice. Saved, and when you find it, we want to open the door. Actually, as soon as we kill the enemy, we want to open the doors and stop the music and everything. Let's see how this was done in Return of the Alien. It was that floor. So bosses were not giving any heart container, but instead they were giving crystals in that game. Okay, so when the boss die, I do nothing. It's just when I obtain the treasure. Okay, so I don't open the doors. Fighting boss will still be true. So if boss is nil or boss get life is 0, so he's dying, then I do nothing. I just ignore the switch. Okay, and then unobtained treasure. If I'm obtaining the heart container, this was done in the item script. It's strange, but I guess it makes sense. Get a crystal, magic crystal. Start dungeon, finish cutscene, hero freeze, game set dungeon finished. So this will happen when I get the Graal, actually, not when I get the heart container. Play music victory. So actually my code will be more similar to ZSDX. Let's open a third editor. Yeah, and maps also were numbered with, well, identified with numbers only. It was the influence from RPG Maker. Okay, this is the code that I wanted. I have to think about this as well. Unobtained treasure. So later, as I was saying, I will handle the code that starts the boss and ends the boss in a separate file, because all dungeons will use the same. Open doors. So I don't really have to open these ones. I can open them. They're called boss door now. Secret, unfreeze. It's strange to write in this order. Play the victory music, hero freeze. Let's do it like this, and timer start. Actually, I no longer need this timer, because now I can be notified when the victory music is finished. Or can I? It's a music that never ends, actually, because it's an original music. Oh, actually, I don't have it in this project. These are only MIDI musics and not A Link to the Past original musics. So I can't really make the same victory sequence. Ah, j'ai fait une erreur de frappe. Ah oui, mince, ta vie maximale. Merci. Yeah, thanks. I want to just play the music, the initial music from the map then. Map get music. Just restore the music and then well, also open the doors. Not sure if I need the secret sound, but I don't need to freeze or unfreeze. And, I don't need this at all. Oops. Music ID. And the real victory sequence will be... What did I do? Will be when you get the Graal, the final room. Hot container. There is no self. Oh, in its game. Let's cheat. Okay, so this should have no effect. Okay, good. I also always need to check. Let's cheat more efficiently. Boss set life 0. Hey, you're dead. He didn't notice. Okay. Oh no, I wanted to... Actually, I wanted not to take the heart, but save instead. And when you come back, the door is always initially open, so the doors are not a problem actually. Yeah, when you come back you still have the heart available. Map open doors. Okay, now we have to put the final treasure here, the Graal. Let's see how it happens. So just a pickable treasure. Tu as trouvé un Graal? 3 points d'exclamation. Souhaites-tu sauvegarder ta partie? Okay, so I think the Graal script should be similar to the crystal script that I still do have. Well, then we'll rename this to Graal. And I have to change the sprite, of course. Yeah, it was here. I have to find it in the original game data. Images, where is it? Objet? No. Statue, inventaire. Guess it's here. Is there a glowing animation or something? Oh yes. Then it must not be this one. Or this one. I should be able to find the animation somewhere else. Logo menu, motif objet. Okay, here it is. So it will be an animated pickable, just like rupees. No problem, we can do that. Let's put an RGB palette. Let's add transparency. Already is. Okay. And I have to make this slightly lighter because the dark is too dark. Normally, at least for now, it's supposed to be 72 everywhere. Or just change the light color maybe. Don't know if it will look okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Save this. Data sprites, entities, yes, it's a pickable entity, pickable treasure entity. Graal PNG. And it's already organized in a nice 16 by 16 grid. So this will be fully compatible with our sprite system. Okay. But actually this should be in the items PNG file. Well, they are all here, including rupees and everything, so let's keep it that way, even though we could use a different file. Don't know, maybe here. I think fairies are not used in this game. Okay. So, sprites, entities, items. Instead of magic crystal, yeah, let's remove the magic crystal. We want, so delete. Well. So how does it work? I mean, animating rupees. The origin is strange here. 16. Maybe it's a slight bug. It should be 13. So Graal, number of frames 8. And the time, let's say, like rupees 100. It's too quick. Okay, good. Good. The sprite is done. Now we need to do the treasure dialogue. Remove the magic crystal 1. Or just rename it to, oops, Graal here. And the text will be, it's just tu as trouvé un Graal. With 3 exclamation marks. Okay. Is the video stopped or something? And then this, okay. Trésor ramassable, pickable treasure, Graal, dungeon 1, Graal. Okay. Oh. Why does it look that way? Oh, I think I forgot to set the correct origin. 813. Yeah, it's always width divided by 2, so in the middle, and height minus 3 pixels. It's the convention that I use everywhere. So is it more here or here? Don't know if you really care. If I look at the original game, it's here. Okay. And then did I really need to put a name? Can I write function Graal unobtained? No. It's map unobtained treasure that has to be used, but that's okay. Then no, not this one, maybe more like this one. Start dungeon, blah blah blah. Set dungeon finished, that's important. Num crystal, and then victory cutscene, okay. Freeze the hero for some time, game, set dungeon finished. I have the game, yes. And then this code. cutscene. Yeah, for now we can put these here. There's still no victory music, unfortunately. So no freezing the hero, no maybe seduction is okay. And max life, no, we already... I mean the heart container is now in a separated item. Game set life. Since there is no more victory music, I no longer need that. But I want a victory sequence here. You will see. Dungeon finished, save. I need this dialogue. Yes, I already have it from the previous game. And if I answer yes, if the player answers yes, I save the game. No unfreeze. Open doors. Doors are already open. Okay, not sure how everything will be organized. So for now, we let the code like this, and later we'll do some refactoring to make all of these small things more generic so that all dungeons can use them. But it won't be very easy because all dungeons don't end the same way. There is not always a heart container and not always a Graal. There are only 4 Graals in the game, but like 15 dungeons, so... Tu as trouvé un Graal. So the victory animation that you just saw with the sword is new. We can keep it like this, why not? So tu saurais ta partie, oui, non. Oh, I have to end the... to unfreeze the hero, actually. I thought it would be done automatically. Start victory function. Maybe I should do it here. I don't know. Or maybe I should let the hero brandish his sword during the game saving dialogue. Tu secrètes ta partie. Seductions 3. I have to now let's unfreeze later. It looked better like this, I think. What happens if I print game is dungeon finished 1? That's true. Okay, nice. Everything is working, I think. I will be able to close the Dungeon 1 boss issue. Dungeon 1 ending, and let's find that issue. Sorry, I couldn't mute the mic in time. Dungeon 1 boss. Issue number 42. Ooh. We are closing issue number 42. And the dungeon 1 is officially finished now. Yeah, you can test it if you want. The project is open source. This dungeon should be fully playable now, including the boss. And yeah, everything should work. If you have any bugs, please report them on GitHub, it will help. The game is actually fully playable now until the end of Dungeon 1. Even the minimap of Dungeon 1 is done yet. So that's good. Okay guys, I think I'm done for this work tonight. Do you have any questions? Do you want to discuss anything about I don't know, other projects, or is there something you want me to explain better about what I just did tonight? Otherwise I would just end the stream. Closing this in the meantime. How many editors did I open? Is done as well. Okay, so I guess that's all for tonight. If you have any questions while watching this video later, feel free to add comments or to ask on the forum if it involves some code. Thank you all for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye.